Who is ready to learn how to make vegan pavlovas? I'm ready. Okay, we're making vegan pavlovas today, and you don't need a lot of ingredients, but the main ingredient is chickpea water, or what we call aquafaba. Whoever figured this out is a genius, but I have so many questions. What made him think that this would act like egg whites is beyond me. I don't know. So, chickpea water is basically the water that you throw out of a chickpea can, not pan, or if you make your own chickpea, like you actually boil it, that water that stays out of your chickpea, please don't throw that away. It freezes really well. Just chuck it in your freezer until you decide to use it. My voice is gone. Okay, so let's start. So we're starting here with 150 grams of chickpea straight out of the can. I don't boil it. I don't do anything to it. A lot of bloggers say to boil it, reduce it, blah, 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 blah. Don't do any of that. Just use it straight from the can. Then we are gonna add cream of tartar. Very important. So we are gonna use, I usually just do one of those, but since I'm trying to do a recipe here, I'm gonna do, I don't know, half a teaspoon to be on the safe side. So what this does is actually helps stabilize the aquafaba or the egg whites. If you don't have cream of tartar, you can use some salt. That also helps, but this usually works a lot better. And then we're gonna add some vinegar, 1 teaspoon. 1 teaspoon of vinegar. And we're gonna start whipping. There's a lot of waiting in this recipe, so bear with me. There's gonna be a few different stages of the way this is gonna whip. So right now, it's gonna start making bubbles. Good. Now, while this is whipping, you want it to whip until you get a soft speak. I can't talk today. A soft peak. While that is doing its thing, get your sugar ready. So here I have regular white sugar. I've got 250 grams. What I did is I put it in my food processor and I let it go for about 5 to 6 minutes, because you want it to become super, super fine so that your aquafaba can absorb the sugar and it's not grainy. So if you don't have a food processor, you might get a grainy meringue, or what we can do is an Italian method, which is another episode altogether. But what we're doing now is a French meringue method. So you can see now, I've got a lot of foam. And now I'm basically waiting for it to whip. It's gonna become white and glossy and gorgeous. A lot of people wonder what it tastes like. It actually tastes exactly like a regular meringue, surprisingly. You don't taste any chickpea or any bean flavor. Which is nice. The guy who invented this is a genius. So now you can see it's like nice and soft, like it's becoming to get into soft peaks. I'm going to show you. I'm just going to let it whip for a few more minutes. So it's still pretty soft. It's still not there yet. It's floppy. It's still sad. Now we're gonna start adding our sugar. Super slow, like super slow. Like 1 teaspoon at a time. So it's very tedious, but no shortcuts. Okay, so now all of my sugar has dissolved. So now you're gonna add some cornstarch. The cornstarch helps the meringue not be so hard. So it's got a nice chewy texture to it. So here I have 1 tablespoon and 1 teaspoon of cornstarch. And let's not make a cloud in here. Okay. And we're just incorporating it. Now, what do I need? I'm very sticky right now. So, we've got stiff peaks, finally. So, basically this is vegan marshmallow. That's basically what it is. You can actually do this. Vegan marshmallow. Okay, now let's take this out. The mixer can take a rest. What do I need? Okay, piping bag if you have one. If you don't, by all means, you can freehand this. Then you want to get a tray. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, tray with parchment or a silk mat, whatever you're using. And now you want to spoon this inside your piping bag, or you can dump it in there right away and just freehand it with a spoon. You can make it into a sheet if you want. Play around with the design. I'm gonna see what I can make out of this. I think this is enough. I'm not gonna use the whole thing. Okay. Okay. Hopefully you can see. There we go. So what I did is I just got a plate, the size of a plate that I like. I think this is about an 8-inch round circle. Just put a plate in there and just with a non-lead pencil, just circle it. If you're just using a regular pen, just make the circle and flip it. Now you're safe. Okay. Now, first I'm gonna make a really, really small cut. What I'm doing is I am using this as my glue so that my wax paper does not fly everywhere. See what I did? Now it's my glue. Done. On the other side, you're just gluing it. Now I'm gonna make a bigger tip. And again, just go with whatever shape you want. There's this shape that I saw on Instagram. I'm gonna try to make it. And then I'm gonna make big, huge dollops. Okay. So this is the design that I am making. I don't know if you can see, kind of like little clouds, and the inside looks like this. Now, baking this. Let's start. So, you want a preheated oven, 300 degrees. You're gonna put this in, no fan. Baked, it took forever, but it's done. I'm actually very happy with how it turned out. It did spread quite a bit, so I think my line was about up to here, so it spread another inch or so. So if you want it to be higher, just pile it up a lot more so that even if it spreads, you've got some height. But I'm actually very happy with this. Look at that. Okay, so what I'm gonna top it off with. So I made some coffee coconut whipped cream. So you just get coconut cream and you whip it with some sugar and some coffee. So that's kind of what I'm gonna do. Because meringue is usually extremely sweet. So this will help it out a little bit. I don't think I made enough for this size, but imagine I have enough to fill this whole space. Just, oh yeah, it's filled. It's filled to the rim. Okay, so make double the amount that I just made and just fill it all the way. Now I made some sour cherry filling. So to make this from scratch, you're gonna get some frozen sour cherries, dump them in on your stove in a saucepan, add some sugar to taste, and add a tiny bit of water and just let it do its thing for about 30 minutes. And then you need to add some cornstarch. Always when you're adding cornstarch, add it cold with some cold water and then add it to your hot mixture. And then it's just gonna become kind of like this. So again, I kind of like the idea of the sour cherries because it will cut on the sweetness of the pavlova, the meringue. I should have made so much more. Just was not expecting it to spread this much. Okay. And then I've got some vegan chocolate shavings. Gonna top it all up. You can still add some fresh fruit to this, and it's still gonna be really nice if you want some freshness and some zestiness in there. And yeah, try it. So I have added some fresh fruit to it.